Tuesday, January 20th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, 24,000 Nova Scotia power customers still waiting to be reconnected to the grid after Monday's snowstorm. Your top news headlines and the forecast just ahead.
And how would you like to win a home? With the brand new spring New Brunswick Hospital Home Lottery, that could be as easy as purchasing a ticket. We'll get the details on the grand prize coming up in our second hour.
Plus, Kids Help Phone. We'll chat with the organization about the great work they do in support of youth mental health. All that and so much more just ahead on the Tuesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
To 6:31 if you're in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. And Amanda was giving me lessons on how to welcome us into the show because it's been so long since I've done this.
You got it.
You're perfect. And you're playing musical chairs as well.
I lied yesterday. I said, I'll see you guys on like the 5 or the 6. Just kidding. Here we are.
We're happy to have you in. Crystal's
Absolutely.
a little under the weather, so we're happy that you're back and you're here. And Latavia's back today, too.
Yeah. I got to miss out on the snowstorm.
I was going to say, yeah.
Oh, my gosh, what a
You
day.
passed the buck to me on the snowstorm. So
Like, you got this. You're a professional. Take it away.
But it was a nicer drive-in today.
It was, at least, thankfully. We've seen a lot of that snow melt on the roads, at least. But we're seeing temperatures warm up for parts of the region early this morning, helping to melt some of that snow. It's not going to get through most of it, though. But we do have a bit of flurry activity early this morning as well, and it's a bit windy, if you noticed that, too.
Yeah, I did see the flags flagging.
The flags flagging, flapping around there. Yeah, and well, it makes you wonder, too. It's good that we, for the most part, have clear conditions, especially as crews try to reconnect people who are still waiting for power. Boy, at its peak, like 130,000 customers in Nova Scotia were off the grid. A lot. Most people reconnected, but still, 24,000 this morning. That's the number.
That's wild. Yeah, I was one of those people affected, unfortunately, but thankfully I have it back.
Good to hear.
Yes, and hopefully many others will as well soon enough. Okay, we're taking a live look at Halifax, -1 early this morning. So we are expecting temperatures to slowly cool down. And we do have a bit of flurry activity for parts of the region as well. Much colder for parts of Atlantic Canada, at least. -18 degrees right now in Edmundston. -8 starting off your day in Fredericton. -2 currently heading outdoors in Charlottetown. 1 degree in Sydney, 0 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Factor in that wind chill early this morning. Is going to feel a lot cooler for many areas, so something to keep in mind when you are heading out early this morning. Taking a look at our satellite and radar, not really much to show you. We do still have a bit of active weather, looking at flurries ending for parts of the Maritime region, leaving sunshine into the afternoon, and parts of Newfoundland and Labrador also going to deal with some active weather. In terms of the wind, it's going to continue to pick up this afternoon. As of right now, out of the west and northwest, 30 kilometers per hour in Moncton, 33 in Greenwood, as well as into Lunenburg and Halifax. And we do have wind gusts getting up to 54 kilometers per hour right now in Halifax, 44 in Greenwood and Sydney. We'll take a look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. More than 24,000 Nova Scotia power customers are still without power this morning after Monday's winter storm knocked them off the grid.
We definitely understand that power outages can be frustrating for customers. We know that in this event, the heavy, wet snow has stuck to trees and it's caused them to come into contact with our power lines.
140,000 people, or 25% of the utilities customers, lost power during the storm's peak. The vast majority saw their electricity return yesterday. For those still waiting, restoration times vary from this afternoon to early tomorrow morning. And you can see part of the problem. Scenes like this played out again and again all over the region as the power grid struggled and failed under the weight of tree branches covered with snow. Bible Hill Fire and Emergency were called to reports of trees on fire in Village Court yesterday morning, and it did prove to be too much for the system. The chief of Nukuktuk First Nation has ordered the temporary closure of the RCMP detachment there after a band member was killed by officers. The RCMP says it was responding to a domestic disturbance call at a residence. RCMP say a man with an edged weapon advanced toward officers and that an officer used a taser that was not effective. The RCMP say an officer then fired their service weapon, striking the male, who was later pronounced dead in hospital. He has been identified by family and the First Nation as Bronson Paul.
This has to stop. And the RCMPs have to be accountable for what happened here, because this is not right.
Our government has offered Chief Purley and Council our full support, and we will do our part to ensure the investigation proceeds in a transparent, timely, and appropriate manner to provide the answers the family and the community needs.
Chief Ross Purley says there are protocols on Nuguktuk that local security accompanied the RCMP on these types of calls. He says that did not happen Sunday. CERT has taken over the investigation. There is no word on how long it is expected to take. RCMP in the Halifax area are looking for help in locating a suspect wanted in connection with a carjacking incident Sunday night. It happened on French Village Road, Station Road in Upper Tantallon. Police say the driver of a Ford Transit van was pulled from the vehicle by a man who then drove off toward Highway 103. The victim wasn't hurt and the vehicle was later located in Ingramport. The suspect is said to be in his 30s, about 5'10", with a slim to medium build. He was wearing dark clothing and a face mask. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. The Jansen Baker double murder trial will resume in Moncton today. Yesterday, the jury heard testimony from 2 forensic experts, including details about videos taken at the crime scene. Baker has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder in the shooting deaths of Bernard and Rose-Marie Saunier in their home in September of 2019. RCMP in the Moncton area are warning the public about the reappearance of counterfeit Canadian money circulating around the city. Police say they have received a number of reports of phony 20s, 50s, and $100 bills. This is what they look like. In many cases, a dead giveaway is the transparent security window. Instead of clean holographic features, some bills have a dull, misaligned sticker or foil overlay placed right on top of the window. Sometimes the sticker is even peeling at the edges and serial numbers appear misaligned. A 41-year-old man was arrested in connection with one incident last week. Police are urging everyone to report other suspicious bills or transactions. Finally, much of the world enjoyed a celestial show overnight. Many parts of the planet saw the aurora borealis thanks to a large solar storm, some say the largest in more than 20 years. Now, it was too cloudy to see much of anything here in the Maritimes last night, but some people did get a northern light show overnight. Tesla Ealer sent us these photos from Monastery, Nova Scotia. The pictures were taken around 6 p.m. and the show lasted about an hour, and Tesla says the photos are not altered in any way. Tesla's just a great photographer.
Apparently.
That's stunning. I feel like anytime I try to take a picture of the sky, it never looks like this.
No.
I love this. Like, I love people who can actually capture this. So thank you so much for sharing, Tessa.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning.
Really incredible. Yeah, you definitely have to be like a good photographer, have a good camera to really capture those images.
Yeah, I can barely take a picture of the moon, so.
The moon never works for me. I need like Gru to go and steal it for me in order for me to get a good picture of it. But it's also like that when I'm like trying to take pictures on vacation. Like, I can't ever get buildings to look as good.
Oh, as nice as some other people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you've ever been on vacation in Rome and wished the drivers would slow down, well, we have some good news for you. A new 30-kilometer-hour speed limit through its historic city is now in effect. That's down from 50 kilometers per hour, making it safer on the streets. Other Italian cities have made similar speed limit reductions and have seen a dramatic drop in road accidents and a 50% reduction in road fatalities. Also, you could slow down and take pictures of those buildings.
Yeah, that's a good point. Add it to the bucket list.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I've never been to Rome.
Me either.
Neither have I.
All right, so I guess we should go on a trip to Rome.
And now we know what speed to drive.
Exactly. Love that for us.
All right, we're going to have your first look at your national and international news headlines on this Tuesday morning. And Latavia will also have the first full look at the forecast. Good morning to our viewers in the Hub City. Some fresh fallen snow there in Moncton, New Brunswick this morning. We'll have your full forecast right after the break. Well, actually, this is over in Yarmouth. I was thinking, like, that's not the Hub City. Yarmouth has the fresh snow. The forecast is next.
Good morning, Atlantic, Canada. The time now is 6:13. We're taking a live look at Brookville. -3 degrees starting off your day. Expecting a chance of some flurry activity early in the morning before clearing, seeing sunshine as the sun begins to rise. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. A bit cooler early this morning for parts of the region. As of right now, it is -10 degrees as you head outdoors in Fredericton. -2 sitting off your day in Charlottetown. -3 degrees early this morning in Halifax. 0 in Sydney. Much colder in Labrador City at -23 degrees. And -1 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Taking a look at our forecast timeline, we do still have a bit of active weather across parts of Atlantic Canada. Looking at a chance of some flurry activity for the Maritime region, expecting that to dissipate into the afternoon, leaving a bit more sunshine. And for Newfoundland and Labrador, also going to see some lighter snowfall and a chance of flurries. Into the afternoon for Newfoundland, we are going to see a bit of mixed precipitation return, looking at a chance of some shower activity for parts of the province. Other than that, we do see that clearing for the Maritime region, leaving sunshine, taking us into the evening and overnight hours, seeing that flurry activity really begin to clear out. We do have some light snowfall for Labrador still and a bit of flurry activity for parts of Newfoundland. Into early Wednesday morning, we do have a chance of flurries returning for parts of the region yet again, and temperatures slowly beginning to cool down. We're looking at a deep freeze into Friday night, so that's when the temperature is really becoming quite cold. In terms of our rainfall outlook, trace amounts indicated for parts of Cape Breton Island. Same thing goes for parts of Newfoundland. In terms of the snowfall, we're going to see around 1 to 5 centimeters of additional snowfall for North Mountain and into Yarmouth. And looking at those totals increasing for Newfoundland and Labrador, around 1 to 10 centimeters expected. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Chance of flurries starts off the day, clears, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. Daytime highs ranging from -10 to -4 and wind gusts of 50 kilometers per hour expected. In terms of Prince Edward Island, flurries start off the day as well, seeing sunshine into the afternoon. Daytime highs will range from -3 to -1, wind gusts of 60 expected. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, highs between -2 to +3. We're looking at sunshine also expected into the afternoon. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, a chance of flurries throughout the day today. Daytime highs between -2 to 0. In terms of Labrador City, we are going to see snow throughout your day, a high of -14 degrees today, 3 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at showers and or flurries throughout your day. Wednesday's forecast, a chance of flurries returns for much of the region. We are expecting another system to make its way over. Showers and or flurries expected into Thursday's forecast. Temperatures continue to cool down. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. The decades-long alliance between the United States and Europe is increasingly under threat over Greenland. And despite the risks to Canada's own relationship with Washington, there are strong signals it's willing to go beyond just words to back the Arctic island. CTV's Mike Couture has details of a possible deployment.
The picturesque landscape of Greenland could soon host a handful of Canadian soldiers. The members of our military would participate in training exercises with a number of European allies.
They framed it as a long-planned military exercise.
Canada's former ambassador to NATO says these deployments were originally planned to deter Russian action, but it could have the same effect on President Trump.
Trump is taking it as a message, and perhaps, unspoken, the allies will think of that as a way of changing Trump's risk calculus.
Canada's troop commitment would likely be less than the dozen soldiers Germany is sending to Greenland. Still, there could be blowback for Canada as U.S. President Donald Trump is threatening tariffs on any ally that sends troops.
Just to show the Americans that, you can't push around a NATO ally and threaten to take over a country against their will.
To minimize the political fallout, some suggest appealing to Trump in a different way.
Try to turn the tables a little bit and say, let's all be in this together when it comes to the defense of the Arctic in North America, rather than make it appear as if somehow we're marshaling a force to defend Greenland from the Americans.
NBC News is also reporting Trump is complaining to aides about Canada's vulnerability in the Arctic. That's despite Canada already committing $6 billion to an over-the-horizon radar system for the far north.
We have to do more in our Arctic, but we also have to be kind of calm. More important thing is to work with our Arctic allies to deter and to get ready for any threat.
CTV's Mike Lecouture reporting in Ottawa. And the North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD, which guards the U.S. and Canada, is also sending assets to Greenland for a long-planned training mission. The deployment is similar to this one involving Canadian forces last January. NORAD saying its aircraft will soon arrive at the base to build upon defense cooperation between the U.S., Canada, and Greenland. NORAD says all activities pertaining to the operation have been coordinated with the Kingdom of Denmark, and Greenland has also been informed. Donald Trump is linking his stance on Greenland to his failure to win the Nobel Peace Prize, a revelation he made in a text message to Norway's Prime Minister. CTV's Joy Malbin has more on what was said.
It's clear the president is still smarting over not winning a Nobel Peace Prize. In an extraordinary exchange, Donald Trump lashed out at Norway's prime minister, writing, "Dear Jonas, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace." Trump goes on to say Denmark can't protect Greenland from Russia or China, escalating his threat to take the Arctic island. The world is not secure unless we have complete and total control of Greenland. Thousands protested over the weekend wearing their own version of MAGA hats, saying "Make America Go Away." Still, the president refuses to rule out military force to seize the Danish-owned territory.
It is not easy when we wake up every morning to new threats. There are red lines which can't be crossed.
Trump pushing those lines. He wants to own Greenland so badly he's threatened to use his favorite weapon, tariffs, on European nations opposed to his plan to take Greenland.
I think that this can be resolved and should be resolved through calm discussion, making clear that the use of tariffs in this way is completely wrong.
European leaders blasted Trump's actions, from counter-tariffs to canceling a planned royal visit to the United States. The U.S. Treasury Secretary warns that retaliation would be unwise.
The president is looking at Greenland as a strategic asset for the United States. We are not going to outsource our hemispheric security to anyone else.
As NATO allies struggle with the president's territorial ambitions, Norway's prime minister replied to Trump, explaining an independent committee awards the Nobel Peace Prize, not his government.
CTV's Joy Malbin reporting in Washington. A 19-year-old Canadian woman was found dead Monday morning near a popular Australian tourist site. The woman was found unresponsive on Guri, an island off the country's east coast. 2 men driving past the beach saw a pack of wild dogs near the body. Authorities say it's too early to know if the dogs were involved in the death.
Since this morning, we have made contact, as in the QPS, with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and attempts will be made to contact her family over in Canada.
And at least 40 people are dead after a train crash in Spain, with dozens more injured. The fatal incident happened when a Madrid-bound train derailed, its tail end crossing over to the opposite tracks and colliding with another train. Experts studying the site say a faulty rail joint may have played a role in the crash. Spain's prime minister has declared 3 days of mourning. That is a look at your international news headlines on this Tuesday morning. When we return, we'll have your must-see moment from our colleagues at TSN. We'll be right back.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Really?
Oh my goodness.
It's like so long ago.
It feels like so long ago. But it's time now to check in with our friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. For it, we're taking a trip to the Windy City. It's the Jets and Blackhawks. Chicago power play here, and Oliver Moore's shot deflects to Connor Bedard, and he is simply robbed by Connor Hellebuyck. Bedard looking at the open net until the glove of Hellebuyck arrives to steal that goal away, earning your must-see moment from Monday. That is a real nice grab. Meanwhile, tonight on TSN, it is early round play from the Australian Open continuing. Coverage begins 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a tremendous Tuesday.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
And now over to your business headlines from our colleagues at BNN.
At the end of 2024, the federal government gave Canadians a break from paying the GST. Fast forward to a year later, and that's why Canadians are paying 8.5% more for meals at restaurants, while alcoholic beverages rose 6.5%. Toys and games are up 7.5%, and kids' clothing 4.8%. At the grocery store, coffee cost almost 31% more year over year. Beef, fresh or frozen, was up almost 17%. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 72.11. West Texas Intermediate is up to 59.43. Western Canadian Select is up to 45.16, and the TSX gained 50 points for another record close. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Taking a look at our 3-day forecast, New Brunswick seeing a chance of flurries early in the morning, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon with a high of -4. -7 degrees on Wednesday. Much of the same, expecting a bit of flurry activity for the northern region, sunshine for the remainder of the province. And then on Thursday, a high of -3, cloudy skies into the day and flurries into the afternoon for the southern region. For Nova Scotia, looking at a high of 0, we do have flurry activity throughout your day today. -6 degrees on Wednesday, a mix of sun and cloud with some isolated flurries. And then on Thursday, looking at flurries and or showers across the province with a high of 3. Prince Edward Island seeing a high of -2 degrees today. Flurries clearing into the afternoon, leaving sunshine. On Wednesday, -8 degrees, sunshine throughout the day, evening flurries. Flurries on Thursday with a high of -4.
At this half hour, we're talking skills. Is there something you've always wanted to learn how to do? Why not make it a reality in 2026? That's the topic in today's Move Morning Chat, and that's coming up in about 15 minutes.
Hey, good morning. It's 6:31, 7:01 if you're in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. We have Brianne Foley, who's back at CTV Atlantic and in for Crystal this morning.
Hey.
How does it feel to be back?
Honestly, it feels like right, but it also just feels normal.
Good.
You know?
I know, it's normal for us too. I was like, oh yeah, how was like your vacation? How was your time away?
My sabbatical.
Yeah, your sabbatical. I like that too. Extended vacation.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was cool. It was great to be out in Vancouver and see what's going on in different newsrooms. Like, that's kind of part of the joy of what we do, right? Like that opportunity to try different things.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, got to do some PWHL stuff. Been doing
Yes, you have.
TSN lacrosse. So, yeah.
Yeah, you were just in Buffalo this past weekend too.
Yeah, I flew in.
I was moving.
I flew in last weekend, and then or the weekend before, and then this past weekend. Yeah, here we are.
Just busy.
And now this is your home base.
Well, it's always been home base.
Oh, always has been.
You know.
Yes. Well, we're happy to have you back. And Latavia, you're back today doing weather duties.
Yep.
Post-storm, but we got another system coming up.
Yeah, we do. We have some active weather yet again on its way. Today, it's pretty light in terms of what we're seeing in the forecast, but we do still have some wet roads ahead. Keep that in mind when you are heading out in Fredericton. Minus 10 degrees, so quite cold this morning, especially when you factor in the wind chill. We'll take a look at that in a second. As of right now, it is minus 2 degrees heading outdoors in Charlottetown with minus 3 in Halifax, minus 23 in Labrador City, minus 2 over in Gander. Here's a look at that wind chill. So it's going to feel a lot colder early this morning. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. Make sure to bundle up. We are going to see temperatures continue to be in trend in terms of cooling down throughout this week. In terms of our satellite and radar, we do have a bit of flurry activity for the Maritimes, seeing a bit of that clear out, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. Labrador seeing periods of snow today, and parts of Newfoundland seeing a bit of mixed precipitation as well. In terms of the wind, we'll continue to pick up, so it's going to be a breezy day ahead. As of right now, we are seeing 46 kilometers per hour for sustained wind in North Cape, 31 into Canso and in Halifax, wind gusts of up to 41 kilometers per hour in Yarmouth, 44 in Halifax and Canso. We'll take another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look, local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. More than 23,000 Nova Scotia Power customers are still without power this morning after Monday's winter storm knocked them off the grid.
We definitely understand that power outages can be frustrating for customers. We know that in this event, the heavy, wet snow has stuck to trees and it's caused them to come into contact with our power lines.
140,000 people, or 25% of the utilities customers, lost power during the storm's peak. The vast majority saw their electricity return yesterday. Now, for those still waiting this morning, restoration times vary from this afternoon to early tomorrow morning. Road conditions and power outages this morning also impacting some schools on Nova Scotia's South Shore and in the Tri-County. In New Brunswick, the chief of Nuguk First Nation has ordered the temporary closure of the RCMP detachment there after a band member was killed by officers. The RCMP says it was responding to a domestic disturbance call at a residence. RCMP say a man with an edged weapon advanced toward officers and that an officer used a taser that was not effective. The RCMP says an officer then fired their service weapon, striking the man, who was later pronounced dead in hospital. He has been identified as Bronson Paul.
This has to stop. And the RCMPs have to be accountable for what happened here, because this is not right.
Our government has offered Chief Purley and Council our full support, and we will do our part to ensure the investigation proceeds in a transparent, timely, and appropriate manner to provide the answers the family and the community needs.
Chief Ross Purley says there are protocols on Nuguk that local security accompany the RCMP on these types of calls. He says that did not happen Sunday. CERT has taken over the investigation. There is no word on how long it is expected to take. The Jansen Baker double murder trial will resume in Moncton today. Yesterday, the jury heard testimony from 2 forensic experts, including details about videos taken at the crime scene. Baker has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder in the shooting deaths of Bernard and Rosemarie Saunier in their home in September of 2019. RCMP in the Moncton area are warning the public about the reappearance of counterfeit Canadian money circulating around the city. Police say they have received a number of reports of phony 20s, 50s, and $100 bills. In many cases, a dead giveaway is a transparent security window. Instead of clean holographic features, some bills have a dull, misaligned sticker or foil overlay placed right on top of the window. Sometimes the sticker is even peeling at the edges and serial numbers appear misaligned. A 41-year-old man was arrested in connection with one incident last week. Police are urging everyone to report other suspicious bills or transactions. Finally, this time of year is always an anxious time for homeowners in New Brunswick when property assessments arrive in the mail. The province's property tax freeze should keep bills in check, but as CTV's Laura Brown tells us, it's likely just a one-year deal.
It's that time of the year. Almost 500,000 property assessments were mailed out today.
But this year is a little different.
So the freeze on the value for taxation is 1 year only.
The freeze is to allow for the ongoing overhaul of the entire property tax system, a promise by the Susan Holt government. It means no matter how much your assessment goes up or down, the tax will be the same as last year for the majority of property owners. Some may still go up depending on your community's tax rate.
Because of places like Fredericton that has frozen its inside rate, Rossay, Quispamsis, Moncton, Riverview, Dieppe, St. John, off the top of my head, hundreds of thousands of New Brunswickers are going to see the benefits of having a freeze on the value for taxation in 2026.
The freeze is good for 1 year only, meaning you may be on the hook for those tax increases next year. But property owners do have spike protection, which caps a yearly tax increase at 10%. A freeze can be tough on communities.
Investing in infrastructure, investing in recreation, investing in community development, all those things cost resources, and inflation doesn't stop just because there's an assessment freeze. So municipalities have to make decisions based on what they have.
The minister promises more on the tax reform will be unveiled in the spring, and you can still appeal your assessment. That deadline is February 18th. Laura Brown, CTV News, Fredericton.
Thank you, Laura. That is your second look at your local news headlines. Yeah, check the mail for the property tax assessment, New Brunswickers.
Yep, definitely a necessary step.
Yes.
Have you guys ever been to Philadelphia?
No, never been to Philly.
Neither. It's on the list for sure, especially for the NFL games. But if you're going to Philadelphia anytime soon, the Rocky statue might not be where you think it is. Yeah, the iconic statue is actually on the move. Philadelphia's Art Commission has voted to move the statue from the bottom of the Art Museum steps back to the top where it once stood. And it's where most people who have seen Rocky III think it should be. Before that final move, it's moving inside for a bit in order to get a little reassessment and get ready for the permanent statue. Meanwhile, a replica statue in the city is also being taken down and given to Sylvester Stallone.
As it should.
As it should. He is Rocky.
Himself, yeah.
Well, how many people run up the stairs and go, da-na-na,
yeah. I actually didn't know that it was moved. I thought it was still at the top. That's what I would assume.
Right? Well, and I think that's why they're moving it, because most people run up the stairs doing their theme song in their head, and they're like, where's Rocky at?
Imagine
go back down.
Yeah, you gotta run back down.
It's easier to go down,
back up.
It is.
Imagine being the guy who was like, man, I just moved the statue. Now you want me to move it again.
Poor guy.
Oh, poor guy.
You know.
Okay, still ahead. We're going to have your entertainment headlines, but coming up next, it is the Move Morning Chat. And today we want to know, what are some skills you'd like to learn this year? We're going to have that conversation when we return. Please stay with us.
Happy Tuesday and welcome back, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 6:43. We're taking a live look at Moncton. -5 degrees as you head outdoors early this morning. And then you factor in that wind chill, going to feel quite cold this morning across much of Atlantic Canada, actually. As of right now, -10 heading outdoors in Fredericton with -2 in Charlottetown, -3 degrees early this morning in Halifax with 0 in Sydney, -13 degrees over in Happy Valley Goose Bay, and -3 in Corner Brook. Taking a look at our forecast timeline, a chance of some flurry activity early this morning for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Going to see that clear into the afternoon, leaving a bit more sunshine. And then for Labrador, looking at periods of snow throughout your day today. For parts of Newfoundland, looking at some light snowfall. Transitions over to a chance of some flurry activity for parts of the region, and then seeing showers move in this afternoon as well. Into this evening, much of the same expected. A chance of flurries remains for parts of the maritime region. Light snowfall still remains for parts of Labrador, and for Newfoundland, looking at some flurry activity as well, taking us into early Wednesday morning. Much of the same is expected, and temperatures really beginning to cool down. In terms of our rainfall outlook, going to be quite light for Sydney and also quite light for parts of Newfoundland. For our snowfall outlook, seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation for Yarmouth and North Mountain, and looking at around 1 to 10 centimeters of accumulation for both Newfoundland and Labrador. Flurries start off your day in New Brunswick. Then we're going to see clearing into the afternoon, leaving sunshine. Daytime highs will range from -10 to -4. Wind gusts of 50 kilometers per hour expected. For Prince Edward Island, highs between -3 to -1. Looking at flurries starting off your day, seeing a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Wind out of the southwest, 30 gusting to 60. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, pretty much the same. We're looking at highs between -2 to +3. Flurries starting off your day, clearing out into the afternoon. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, seeing a bit of flurry activity expected throughout your day today, with highs between -2 to 0. For Labrador City, periods of snow throughout your day with a high of -14 degrees today. 3 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a chance of showers and or flurries throughout yours. Into Wednesday's forecast, we are going to see flurries return for the Maritime region. Also going to see some light snowfall for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. Thursday morning, early Thursday morning, we have another system making its way over, looking at showers and flurries returning for parts of Atlantic Canada and cooling down into Friday night, looking at a deep freeze over into the weekend, extending into Monday's forecast. So that's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to the Move Morning Chat.
It's the Tuesday Move Morning Chat with our colleagues Aaron and Peter in radio. This morning we are talking about skills, especially ones you would like to learn. I love to talk about this, especially for the start of a new year. Let's learn something new. Peter, what do you want to learn?
Well, I mean, if it's up to my wife, she wants me to learn to sing, apparently. Out of the blue, just on, well, I guess it was Friday, I was actually in another room. She was in another part of the house, and I suddenly hear her say, "You should take singing lessons."
How did she say it, though? How?
It was just odd because, you know, I've been singing all my life. And she meant it in the nicest way possible, I think. She went on to say, "You have a gift, and you really should nurture it." It was just an odd thing to say out of the blue. So, yes, if there is a new skill that I need to learn at least how to sing properly. So that's what I'm going with. That's a new skill that I want.
It's funny because as somebody who sits in a room with him, you do have a great voice. You know how to sing. He's like, you sing with bands, you perform. So, but it's good to just, you know.
You should take singing lessons.
A little bit. One skill that I want to work on, and I've been wanting to try forever, is I want to know how to make sourdough bread. I've been avoiding it because that sounds dangerous to just have bread like that at home all the time. But I love sourdough, and I really want to learn how to make it at home. I know it's a whole skill. It's a craft with the starter and everything, but I want to get there and learn that skill this year.
I love it. Oh my gosh, I love learning things. There's so much I want to learn. Definitely want to, I speak French, but I want to polish it up so I can really be conversational and really listen. But I think the thing I'd like to learn is Cape Breton step dancing. I'd like to secretly take lessons, and then this summer at the Kayleys, like, just bust it out and impress all my relatives.
You'd be so good at that.
I'd love to try that. I don't know.
Especially if, like, no one knew you've been practicing all this time. Yeah. Also, Aaron, where were you in 2020? Pandemic sourdough.
I'm late to the party, I know.
It's like we're throwing it back. For me, I would love to learn how to sew. I did basic sewing, home ec, back when I was in junior high. That was a while ago. I would really like to do that, especially, we joke about it on the show, I don't even know how to fix a button that's starting to get loose and fall off, and everyone says it's easy. My mother-in-law showed me once. I forgot. I really would like to learn how to sew and fix more things.
That is so funny, Amanda, because this week we have a big box of stuff that I'm going through. It's like, you know when you go to the hotel and you get like the little shampoos or the sewing kit and all that? There's a bunch of stuff and I'm trying to find use for it. And I brought a sewing kit in to teach you how to sew on a button. So we will do that later today.
Fun.
Anyway, this is a great one, you two. Thank you so much. Let's turn it over to our viewers and see what is it you'd love to learn this year. Inspire us. Text us at 10400 and we'll have a wonderful roundup at the end of the show.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:52. We're going to head over to Hollywood and take a look at your entertainment headlines.
No snake has set foot in Zootopia in forever.
Disney's Zootopia 2 is now Hollywood's highest-grossing animated film. The movie, which has earned $1.7 billion, surpassed Pixar's Inside Out 2 after 8 weekends in theaters.
This world goes much deeper than you imagine.
Meantime, James Cameron's Avatar, Fire and Ash continues to dominate the box office, retaining the top spot for the 5th weekend with more than $13 million in sales. Disney is the parent company of 20th Century Studios, which distributes the film, and ABC. The post-apocalyptic horror film 28 years later, The Bone Temple, came in 2nd place. Nice. Green Day will kick off next month's Super Bowl with an opening ceremony at Levi's Stadium. The NFL says the performance will celebrate 6 decades of the game's history. Lead singer Billy Joe Armstrong, who's from the area, says he's excited. Super Bowl 60 is set for February 8th. And a special happy birthday to Dolly Parton. The 9 to 5 singer turns 80 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Well, we are just a few weeks away from the Winter Games, and 2 Canadian ice dancers have their sights set on a medal.
Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier have been skating together for 14 years, and this Olympics is likely their last. CTV's John Benavalli-Rao sat down with the pair that's poised for the podium in Italy.
So our first competition is the opening ceremonies day, which was the 6th.
We got the chance to talk to this delightful duo at their practice rink in Toronto.
We're just so excited about what's coming up. It's such a incredible opportunity to represent Canada at the Games.
Ice dancers Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier training about 5 hours each day, gunning for their first Olympic medal after gracing the ice together for 15 seasons.
We've accomplished so much in our career. We've won some major events, and I think that's something to be proud of. But I think the lingering thing is one last medal at the Olympic Championship.
Here they are competing back in 2012. Since then, winning the Canadian Nationals 5 times, most recently last weekend. They also appeared together at the Olympics in China and South Korea, but both times failed to reach the podium. Now about to try again in what's likely their last season and last Olympics. And they're seen as major contenders to medal in Milan.
We did these last 4 years because we wanted that medal.
We've been training for this for a really long time, and we feel so ready and confident, and that's such a nice feeling to have.
The pair won silver at the last 2 World Championships, a success all the more remarkable considering Gillis found out she had stage 1 ovarian cancer 3 years ago. She had a successful surgery, but is still checked every 6 months.
I had an ultrasound last week, and I see my doctor next week, and it's like, it'll be so nice right before the Olympic Games that we'll be all in good spirits.
Gillis's mom died of an aggressive form of brain cancer in 2018, and she says she skates in her honor.
I do miss her at competitions. I do miss hearing my mom screaming in the stands.
But she says she still feels her mom's presence and will in Italy, where this pair may well have their final dance as they go for gold. John Benavalli-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Wow, and that is just weeks away. Hard to believe. Happening now in local news, more than 23,000 Nova Scotia Power customers are still without electricity this morning after Monday's winter storm knocked them off the grid. Those outages and cleanup efforts also impacting schools this morning. Plus, in New Brunswick, the chief of Tobique First Nation has ordered the temporary closure of the RCMP detachment there after a band member was killed by officers. Plus, the municipality of Tantramar is the chosen site for a proposed gas power plant. It opposes that project, but another community says it welcomes it. Those details coming up next. Please stay with us. It's Tuesday, January 20th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, 24,000 Nova Scotia Power customers still waiting to be reconnected to the grid after Monday's snowstorm, which is also impacting some schools today. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And And it's so nice they're doing it twice. The New Brunswick Hospital Home Lottery will join us to share their details of their brand new spring edition. That story and so much more coming up on the Tuesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Happy Tuesday, Atlantic Canada, and welcome back. The time now is 7:01, just turned. And you know what? We're dealing with some colder temperatures, but not as cold as we're going to see into Friday night and this weekend.
How cold is it going to get Friday?
Oh, burn.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be quite freezing. We're calling it the deep freeze headed our way. So we've been very fortunate to have.
I was going to say, like, I feel like it hasn't been that.
No,
I mean, I haven't been here, so I don't know.
For the most part, yeah, not bad. But yeah, we're cooling things down, so enjoy the mild temperatures while they last.
Well, we can. Well, we were, my son and I, we were playing outside yesterday, enjoying the snow day once I got home from work. And this snow, like, I know it's heavy when you have to shovel it, but I gotta tell you, if you're playing in it with your kids, so much fun. Like, perfect for making snowmen or for snowballs, for snowball fights. We did like some sledding. The dog was playing. Like, we had a great time in the snow once the driveway was cleared.
Yeah, basically.
That was once we got the work out of the way.
That was the work.
Yeah.
The workout for yesterday anyways.
Work then play.
Yes, and you can see everything's nicely shoveled up for the most part. We still have lots of snow on the ground. Here's a live look at Lunenburg. It is 1 degree starting off your day, so not too bad. It's much colder for many other areas in Atlantic Canada. As of right now, heading outdoors in Halifax, -3 degrees, 0 in Sydney, -2 starting off your day in Charlottetown with -10 in Fredericton, -1 for St. John's, Newfoundland. Factor in that wind chill, going to feel a lot colder early this morning across the region. Something to keep in mind when you are heading out early this morning. We do now have a snow squall watch in effect for parts of Newfoundland, as well as a cold warning in effect for Wednesday morning until the afternoon. Here's a look at our satellite and radar for today. A few flurries across parts of the Maritime region will dissipate, becoming a mix of sun and cloud a little bit later on. In terms of Newfoundland and Labrador, seeing periods of snow and looking at showers returning for parts of Newfoundland into the afternoon. In terms of the wind, it's going to continue to pick up. As of right now, 46 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 31 into Halifax and Canso, 30 in Yarmouth. Wind gusts of up to 44 kilometers per hour into Halifax and Canso, 46 in Yarmouth, 35 into Grand Manan. We'll take another look at your forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. More than 23,000 Nova Scotia Power customers still without electricity this morning after yesterday's winter storm knocked them off the grid.
We definitely understand that power outages can be frustrating for customers. We know that in this event, the heavy, wet snow has stuck to trees and it's caused them to come into contact with our power lines.
140,000 people, or 25% of the utilities customers, lost power during the storm's peak. The vast majority saw their electricity return yesterday. For those still waiting this morning, restoration times vary from this afternoon to early Wednesday morning. Road conditions and power outages this morning also impacting some schools on the South Shore, the Annapolis Valley, and in the Tri-County. You can find more details on our website. And you can see this is what power crews were dealing with. Scenes like this played out again and again all over the region as the power grid struggled and failed under the weight of tree branches filled with snow. Bible Hill Fire and Emergency were called to reports of trees on fire in Village Court yesterday morning, and it proved to be too much for the system. The Nova Scotia-based Serious Incident Response Team is investigating a couple of police-related incidents over the weekend. The chief of Tobique First Nation has ordered the temporary closure of their RCMP detachment after a band member was killed by officers. CTV's Nick Moore is in Western New Brunswick.
The RCMP says it was responding to a domestic disturbance call at a residence. In a written statement, the RCMP says a man with an edged weapon advanced towards officers and that an officer deployed a taser that was not effective. The RCMP says an officer then fired their service weapon, striking the male, who was later pronounced dead in hospital. The man who was killed has been identified by family and the First Nation as Bronson Paul.
This has to stop. And the RCMPs have to be accountable for what happened here, because this is not right. I am so mad. And Bronson Paul, my nephew, he was loved by a lot of people in this community. He has a big family here, and we love him.
Chief Ross Purley says there are protocols on a good cook that local security accompany the RCMP on these types of calls.
And for whatever reason, that didn't happen yesterday, and this is the result of that. We're looking for a transparent investigation, one that includes Indigenous oversight. That's important.
This morning, New Brunswick Premier Susan Holt posted a video to her Facebook page reacting to the fatal shooting.
Our government has offered Chief Purley and Council our full support, and we will do our part to ensure the investigation proceeds in a transparent, timely, and appropriate manner to provide the answers the family and the community needs.
There's been no timeline provided on how long the CERT investigation will take. Nick Moore, CTV News, Nagoodcook, First Nation.
The Jansen Baker double murder trial will resume in Moncton today. Yesterday, the jury heard testimony from 2 forensic experts, including details about videos taken at the crime scene. Baker has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder in the shooting deaths of Bernard and Rosemary Saunier in their home in September of 2019. As the debate continues in southeastern New Brunswick over a proposed gas power plant, one community has put up its hand and said, we'll take it. The municipality of Tantramar, the chosen site, has opposed the project for environmental concerns. However, officials in Grand Lake say they'd be happy to take the facility.
Our community is open for business. This area has powered the province for many years with coal. I believe that they look at the Moncton area due to the grid. I believe that if you have a community that doesn't want it and one that does want it, then you can work that grid out.
The mayor says the community has some infrastructure in place, and hosting the plant could help boost the local economy during the building phase. He says council and locals in Grand Lake have also expressed support for the project. Finally, a different lake. For the first time in 9 years, Central Europe's biggest lake has frozen over, creating the right conditions for locals to hit the ice. Isn't that beautiful? This is in Hungary. It's Hungary's Lake Balaton. Ice near the southern shore reached 12 to 15 centimeters thick, exceeding the minimum safety threshold for stepping onto wild ice. Local authorities stress that skating is only permitted within 50 to 70 meters of the southern shore, where rescue access is easier if necessary.
That is so cool.
In Hungary.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that so neat?
All I need there is like a beaver tail stand.
Ooh, that would be very Canadian, wouldn't it? Serving up some hot chocolate.
Yeah. That's my favorite part about ice skating, not gonna lie. I was talking with a friend.
Treats afterwards.
Yeah. In Ottawa, they freeze the canal, right? It's like kind of similar concept. And I was talking with my friend about skating, and we were both like, we haven't been in years. Like, he lives in Ottawa, and I was like, but like realistically, the reason I go is for the Killaloo Sunrise beaver tail at the end of it, like every single time.
There's one thing the beaver tails know too is like their marketing, right? To be by an ice surface. Just even thinking about the Amera Oval, right, in Halifax.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, I mean, we'll keep on the ice trend. Here's a fresh take on the polar plunge trend. Students set up an icy slip and slide to raise money for charity. So they got some help from the pre-service fire and rescue students doing what they do best, spraying water. It was all in good fun and in support of Special Olympics, so they also raised more than $13,000 with the help of local firefighters and police in Windsor, Ontario. And it's a great reminder that you can still get tickets for the Special Olympics Gala in Halifax next month. So,
amazing.
You know?
Yes, the Inspire Gala is really wonderful.
It's literally inspiring. So if you've never been, go.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got for you.
Tickets are still available.
Yeah.
All right, still ahead. We're going to have a look at your national and international news headlines. Lantavia will have a look at the forecast for this Tuesday and also looking ahead into the next weather system before we have a deep freeze. Beautiful fresh snow and blue skies in Truro, Nova Scotia. The forecast is coming up next.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. Welcome back. The time now is 7:13. We're taking a live look at Port de Grave. Quite a nice morning to start your day. -1 as you head outdoors. We are expecting flurries and or showers into the afternoon, though. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. A cold start to the day for much of the region. -10 degrees as you head outdoors in Fredericton. -4 in both Charlottetown and Halifax. 1 degree in Sydney. -1 into St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have snow squall watches in effect for parts of Newfoundland for this evening until Wednesday night. Looking at around 5 to 10 centimeters, potentially 20 centimeters within those snow squalls. Wind gusts ranging from 70 to 80 kilometers per hour. A cold warning also in effect for Wednesday morning for parts of Labrador until the afternoon. Wind chill nearing -45. Over to our forecast timeline. Some flurry activity starting off your day for the Maritime region. Also going to see some sunshine, especially into the afternoon as flurries really begin to clear out. For Labrador, looking at periods of snow throughout your day and then light snowfall for parts of Newfoundland. Into the afternoon for Newfoundland, starting to see flurries and or showers move in. Taking us into the evening hours, much of the same expected, just a bit of flurry activity for parts of all 3 Maritime provinces, and also going to see that snow remaining in parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, taking us into early Wednesday morning. Another cold day ahead. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, going to remain quite light for parts of Cape Breton Island as well as into parts of Newfoundland. For a snowfall outlook, looking at around 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation for North Mountain and into Yarmouth. 1 to 10 centimeters expected for parts of both Newfoundland and Labrador. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Flurries start off the day, clearing into the afternoon, leaving mainly sunny skies. Daytime highs will range from -10 to -4, wind gusts of 50. For Prince Edward Island, looking at highs between -3 degrees, -2. And looking at flurries also starting off your day, clearing into the afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Pretty much the same for Cape Breton Island, eastern Nova Scotia. Flurries start off the day, clearing into the afternoon, with daytime highs between -3 to 1. And then over to the rest of Nova Scotia, flurries expected on and off throughout your day today, highs between -3 to 0. For Labrador City, periods of snow expected throughout your day, high of -14 degrees. 3 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at showers and or flurries, especially into the afternoon. Wednesday's forecast, much of the same, a bit of flurry activity for parts of Atlantic Canada. Temperatures really slowly beginning to cool down. Thursday's forecast, we do have a few showers and flurries returning for much of Atlantic Canada. And then into Friday night, we're going to start to see temperatures really cool down. That's when that deep freeze is going to begin. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. The decades-long alliance between the United States and Europe is increasingly under threat over Greenland. And despite the risks to Canada's own relationship with Washington, there are strong signals it's willing to go beyond just words to back the Arctic island. CTV's Michael Couture has details of a possible deployment.
The picturesque landscape of Greenland could soon host a handful of Canadian soldiers. The members of our military would participate in training exercises with a number of European allies.
They framed it as a long-planned military exercise.
Canada's former ambassador to NATO says these deployments were originally planned to deter Russian action, but it could have the same effect on President Trump.
Trump is taking it as a message, and perhaps, unspoken, the allies will think of that as a way of changing Trump's risk calculus.
Canada's troop commitment would likely be less than the dozen soldiers Germany is sending to Greenland. Still, there could be blowback for Canada, as U.S. President Donald Trump is threatening tariffs on any ally that sends troops.
Just to show the Americans that, you can't push around a NATO ally and threaten to take over a country against their will.
Now, to minimize the political fallout, some suggest appealing to Trump in a different way.
Try to turn the tables a little bit and say, let's all be in this together when it comes to the defense of the Arctic in North America, rather than make it appear as if somehow we're marshaling a force to defend Greenland from the Americans.
NBC News is also reporting Trump is complaining to aides about Canada's vulnerability in the Arctic. That's despite Canada already committing $6 billion to an over-the-horizon radar system for the far north.
We have to do more in our Arctic, but we also have to be kind of calm. More important thing is to work with our Arctic allies to deter and to get ready for any threat.
CTV's Mike Couture reporting in Ottawa. And the North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD, which guards the U.S. and Canada, is also sending assets to Greenland for a long-planned training mission. The deployment is similar to this one involving Canadian forces last January. NORAD saying its aircraft will soon arrive at the base to build upon defense cooperation between the U.S., Canada, and Greenland. NORAD says all activities pertaining to the operation have been coordinated with the Kingdom of Denmark, and Greenland has also been informed. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll get details on the Spring New Brunswick Home Lottery. Those details coming up next. Stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
The St. John Regional Hospital Foundation is proud to mark another significant milestone in the program's evolution, the launch of its first ever Spring Hospital Home Lottery. So this will be a second hospital home lottery for New Brunswick, and we are so excited to learn more. Joining us this morning, we welcome Shannon Hunter, the president and CEO, with our partners at St. John Regional Hospital Foundation. Good morning, Shannon.
Good morning.
So excited about this. This is the first ever Spring Hospital Home Lottery for New Brunswick. Can you tell us a little bit more about it and why you decided to launch an additional lottery?
Absolutely. I mean, that's certainly the question that we're getting from everyone. This is our 18th year, which is, you know, almost 2 decades. And over the last 5 years, the response and the support that we've seen in the community has just been absolutely wonderful. And every fall, we pretty much sell out or we sell out. And so we decided that this was the time to move into 2 full programs. So our spring lottery is the exact same as our fall lottery, everything from a dream home, cottage, cars, over 500 prizes. And so we're thrilled. This was 2 years in the making. And so we're so excited to finally make this announcement.
All right, so you mentioned a few of the prizes. Can you dive a little deeper into them? Because I'm sure many are excited to take part.
Absolutely. So the big prize, the dream home, again, it's a $1.4 million home. It's in Ross, New Brunswick on Greenbrier Street. We've had a lottery home there before. It's 2,500 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. I mean, it's similar to other homes, but I will say the look and feel of this one is different. It's much more modern. It's a little bit more masculine. I had the pleasure of seeing it a couple of weeks ago. It's absolutely incredible. And that's what's also exciting is that because we've been planning this for quite some time, the house is finished. And so people who are interested in seeing it can go visit it. It's going to be open to the public. All of the images are on the website, which is now live. It's absolutely phenomenal. And you get $50,000 cash plus all of the decor. So, I mean, that can't get much better than that. We also have a cottage in Grand Barachois and a Corvette or $100,000 cash, and the list goes on.
That sounds pretty incredible, and I love that the house is already done so people can go and view it. So where will the proceeds raised go towards for this one?
Yeah, so for this campaign, the same as our fall campaign. So the Hospital Foundation is now in a $10.5 million campaign raising funds for 2 key areas that support surgical advancements at our hospital. The first is a net new hybrid operating room. This is primarily to service the New Brunswick Heart Centre, which supports patients from across New Brunswick as well as PEI. And that essentially is going to help reduce wait times by 20%. So that's pretty incredible. The other program is to help launch one of Canada's first spinal robotics program. And so again, you can a lot of this stuff is very advanced in tech, but it essentially helps patients who have some of the most complex surgical needs. And so, if you live in this province and you are living with a critical condition, you want to know that you have access to this technology.
Well, Shannon, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
And that was Shannon Hunter with our partners at St. John Regional Hospital Foundation. We'll make sure to put a link up on our website so you're up to date with the Spring Hospital Home Lottery. Now we're going to take a look at our 3-day forecast. A daytime high of -4 degrees today for New Brunswick. Looking at flurries starting off your day, clearing into the afternoon, leaving a bit of sunshine. Wednesday, much of the same expected isolated flurries and a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon, a high of -7. On Thursday, -3 degrees, cloudy skies with flurries into the afternoon. Nova Scotia looking at a high of 0 today. We do have flurry activity and a bit of sunshine into the afternoon as well. For Wednesday, -6 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud with isolated flurries returning. And then on Thursday, 3 degrees with flurries and or showers across the province. Prince Edward Island looking at a high of -2 degrees today. Flurries clearing, leaving sunshine. On Wednesday, -8 degrees, mainly sunny skies with flurries returning into the evening. Then on Thursday, a high of -4 with flurries.
You all right?
Coming up in this half hour, Kids Help Phone. We'll chat with the organization about the work that they do to support youth mental health year-round. That conversation and how you can support them in 15 minutes here on Your Morning Atlantic.
Hey, good morning, Atlantic Canada. It is cusping on 7:31. Cusping. 8:01 if you are in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. And welcome to our humble abode.
We're happy to have you along for the ride, too. And hopefully you have power back as well if you lost it yesterday.
Yeah, what are we looking at for that right now? Still some customers out?
Oh, yeah, still over 23,000 Nova Scotia Power customers waiting for the power. And the restoration times really vary from either early this afternoon, for some even tomorrow.
Yikes.
But because of power outages, that's impacting some schools, right? And have classes if you don't have any power. So we do have a full detailed list of the schools being impacted on our website. But to tell you roughly, it's South Shore, Digby County, and also the Tri-County and the Annapolis Valley, roughly.
Are the kids getting a good snow day? Like, is there going to be sunshine for them that they can enjoy some time outside?
Poor parents, but yes, kids, perfect weather conditions for them. We are going to see a bit cooler for our daytime highs. The temperature is slowly dropping down. We do have a deep freeze at the end of the week. So Friday night, we're looking at temperatures really cooling down. Are people skating?
Yeah, nice and early on the oval this morning.
That's awesome.
Great way to start the day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. -4 degrees in Halifax right now. This is really cool to see. I didn't even know it was open this early. All right, in terms of the current temperature is -10 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, a -4 in Charlottetown, 1 degree in Sydney, -1 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Factor in that wind chill. Make sure to bundle up before heading out. It is feeling quite cold for parts of the region. We do have a snow squall watch in effect for parts of Newfoundland for this evening until Wednesday night, as well as a cold warning in effect for parts of Labrador Wednesday morning until the afternoon. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. A few flurries early this morning for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, seeing sunshine into the afternoon. And then for Labrador, periods of snow. For Newfoundland, looking at a bit of flurry activity before flurries and or showers move in this afternoon. In terms of the wind, going to continue to pick up as of right now, 44 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 33 into Halifax, 35 in Canso. Wind gusts of up to 54 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 48 in Grand Etang, 46 in Canso. We'll take another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Lativia. And we begin with developing news from Halifax Regional Police. Just getting this message from police that they are responding to multiple motor vehicle collisions this morning due to icy roads. Police say that they are responding to a number of different collisions in the city, and Highway 111 inbound towards the McKay Bridge, that's on the Dartmouth side, is closed to all traffic from Portland Street to Main Street while crews work to make sure the roads are safe and clear from previous collisions. Again, that's Highway 111 inbound towards the McKay Bridge, closed to all traffic from Portland Street to Main Street. And Halifax police are asking people to take caution getting where they need to go this morning due to icy road conditions this morning. Again, that's in the Halifax area. And more than 23,000 Nova Scotia Power customers are still off the grid this morning after yesterday's winter storm.
We definitely understand that power outages can be frustrating for customers. We know that in this event, the heavy, wet snow has stuck to trees and it's caused them to come into contact with our power lines.
140,000 people, or a quarter of the utility's customers, lost power during the storm's peak. The vast majority saw their electricity return yesterday. For those still waiting this morning, restoration times vary from this afternoon to early Wednesday morning. Road conditions and power outages also impacting some schools this morning on the South Shore, the Annapolis Valley, and Tri-County areas. In New Brunswick, the chief of Nuguk First Nation has ordered the temporary closure of the RCMP detachment there after a band member was killed by officers. The RCMP says it was responding to a domestic disturbance call at a residence. RCMP say a man with an edged weapon advanced toward officers and that an officer used a taser that was not effective. The RCMP says an officer then fired their service weapon, striking the man, who was later pronounced dead in hospital. He's been identified by family and the First Nation as Bronson Paul.
This has to stop. And the RCMPs have to be accountable for what happened here, because this is not right.
Our government has offered Chief Purley and Council our full support, and we will do our part to ensure the investigation proceeds in a transparent, timely, and appropriate manner to provide the answers the family and the community needs.
Chief Ross Purley says there are protocols on Nuguk that local security accompany the RCMP on these types of calls. He says that did not happen Sunday. CERT has taken over the investigation. The Jansen Baker double murder trial will resume in Moncton today. Yesterday, the jury heard testimony from 2 forensic experts, including details about videos taken at the crime scene. Baker has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder in the shooting deaths of Bernard and Rosemary Saunier in their home in September of 2019. RCMP in the Moncton area are warning the public about the reappearance of counterfeit Canadian money circulating around the city. Police say they have received a number of reports of phony 20s, 50s, and $100 bills. Here's what they look like. In many cases, a dead giveaway is a transparent security window. Instead of clean holographic features, some bills have a dull, misaligned sticker or foil overlay placed right on top of the window. Sometimes the sticker is even peeling at the edges, and serial numbers are misaligned. A 41-year-old man was arrested in connection with one incident last week. Police are urging everyone to report other suspicious bills or transactions. Some good news and some bad news about that makeshift medical unit inside an ambulance bay at the Chalmers Hospital in Fredericton. The good news is patients will be moved to a different wing of the hospital. The bad news is it could take months. The 13-bed unit was created as an urgent solution to overcrowding in the hospital. It's been condemned for its lack of running water, bathrooms, and privacy. Horizon Health is promising those 13 beds will be moved inside the hospital, but other services have to move first. Then the ambulance bay will be officially renovated.
This will be an extension of the emergency department. It will provide some type of clinical care for emergency department patients as the renovations are undertaken.
Margaret Melanson notes 142 patients at the Chalmers should be in long-term care, not a hospital, which is why they're trying to find beds elsewhere. Finally, in case you missed it, the Animal Kingdom was pieced to life in downtown Halifax, and it's made entirely out of Lego. Took more than 1 million pieces of Lego to put these creatures all together. They're proudly on display at the Discovery Center in the downtown until May. And of course, if you want more details, you can go to our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca, to watch Crystal's segment on the exhibit. I have seen it in person. We actually went as a family on Sunday. It is incredible. Cool animal facts. You get to see how it was put together. You get to learn how they transported that hummingbird, which is really incredible. Has to be taken apart, taken in multiple pieces because it's too big to go inside like a moving van.
Wow.
To get it there.
This is incredible.
It's unreal.
Lego fascinates me.
Oh, and
I don't have the patience.
Oh,
but for
it's so
those
fun.
who do have the patience,
I don't have the money. For the sets that I want to buy.
You know what?
Expensive.
Yeah.
Very accurate. Very, very accurate.
Well, and the creator of all this, he doesn't have like a special deal with Lego. He doesn't have any special pieces. He's got to work with like what they provide, like what is available. The polar bear one, that's got to be my favorite. It is unbelievable. 3 cubs. What also gets me too is how lifelike the pieces are. Like they're in movement. And when you look really close, what's really cool about the mountain goats, it's like to make that kind of rough fur, like sticky fur underneath it, it's like little upside down people.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Lego people.
Wow.
It's so fun.
So, like, it's
super
Discover
talented.
Center, it's neat. You know, the weather's not always the best to be outside. It's a great way to spend some time inside.
Especially this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
When it goes down cold.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
real cold.
But we're gonna stick with Lego because if you're a Lego builder, I'm not, obviously, we made that very clear. Soon you'll be able to catch them all in the Pokemon world.
If you got the money.
Again, if you got the money. Lego has unveiled its first ever line of Pokemon sets, marking a major crossover between the 2 largest play brands in the world. So the first collection will be debuting on February 27th, and it's inspired by the characters throughout, obviously, Pokemon's 3-decade history. The initial rollout features 5 fan favorites in Pikachu, Eevee, Venusaur, Charizard, and
Blastoise?
no,
come on.
I can't
What is it?
Blastoise.
Blastoise.
Yeah.
See, I know the little ones.
Well,
What are the little ones? So what's the little one called?
Pikachu?
No, the little turtle. Squirtle.
Squirtle. I love Squirtle.
Give me Squirtle. And Bulbasaur.
Yes.
Bulbasaur.
I like the little ones. I don't like the big ones. They're too
No.
scary. They do the things.
That set's like $900.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't have the patience.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay. Oh, we are doing this. All right.
Okay, so if you like the sounds of the prizes that you can win with the Big Bucket giveaway, then this contest is for you. CTV, along with our partners at Kent Building Supplies, want you to enter the Kent Big Bucket giveaway. So once a month, we'll reveal a different prize in the bucket and give you a chance to win. This month, the winner choose between a Frigidaire induction range with a built-in pizza oven. What? Or a Frigidaire electric range with
also a built-in pizza oven.
Amazing. Either way, sounds like a good time. And of course, to enter for your chance to win, you head over to ctvatlantic.ca and the contest closes this Saturday, and we'll announce the winner on Friday, January 30th. Good luck. Bring us some pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Love that. Again, too, if you missed, like if you want to see more about it, our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca.
Crystal does the whole unveiling.
And sees the big bucket.
Oh, and you get pizza.
You get pizza if you make it.
Yeah.
All right, we're halfway through the show. Coming up next, Latavia will have the full forecast for this Tuesday, and also too working to improve youth mental health. We will chat with the folks at Kids Help Phone about the great work they do year-round to support kids in crisis. That's coming up next.
Looking quite gloomy over in Iona. Welcome back. The time now is 7:45. 1 degree starting off your day, but we do have a few flurries expected throughout the day as well. Pretty cold for parts of Atlantic Canada early this morning. Temperatures going to continue to dive down. As of right now, minus 10 degrees as you head outdoors in Fredericton, with minus 4 over in Charlottetown and in Halifax. 1 degree in Sydney, minus 13 degrees in Happy Valley Goose Bay, and minus 3 in Corner Brook. We do have a snow squall watch now in effect for parts of Newfoundland for this evening until Wednesday night. Looking at around 5 to 10 centimeters, potentially getting up to 20 centimeters within those snow squalls, and wind gusts ranging from 70 to 80 kilometers per hour. A cold warning also in effect for parts of Labrador Wednesday morning until the afternoon. Could see the wind chill nearing minus 45. So we do have a deep freeze on its way, but not today. Today we're looking at pretty cold temperatures, but not as cold as we're going to see into Friday night. Today we're looking at a bit of sunshine for parts of the Maritime region, a few flurries starting off the day as well. Looking at periods of snow across much of Labrador, and for Newfoundland, going to see some mixed precipitation into the afternoon, looking at flurries and or showers across much of the province. Into the afternoon, lots of sunshine for the Maritime region, still holding on to a bit of flurry activity, though. Taking us into early Wednesday morning, another cold day ahead. We are going to see a bit of sunshine, but also flurry activity remaining. If you're wondering about our precipitation totals, pretty light for Sydney as well as into parts of Newfoundland. For a snowfall outlook, seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters of additional snowfall for North Mountain as well as into Yarmouth. And then across much of Newfoundland and Labrador, looking at around 1 to 10 centimeters of accumulation. Here's a look at our forecast today for New Brunswick. A few flurries starting off your day will clear out, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. Daytime highs will range from -10 to -4, wind gusts of 50 kilometers per hour today. For Prince Edward Island, highs between -3 to -2. We do have flurries starting off your day as well, clearing into the afternoon. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, looking at a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon, wind gusts of 50, and daytime high between -3 to 2 degrees. For the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at flurries expected on and off throughout the day. Daytime highs between -3 to 0. And then for Labrador City, looking at periods of snow throughout your day with a high of -14 degrees, 3 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at showers and or flurries throughout yours. Into Wednesday's forecast, another colder day ahead. We do have a few flurries tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada. Thursday morning, we have another system making its way over, flurries and or showers for much of Atlantic Canada. Temperatures starting to cool down with flurry activity returning for much of the region. Brianne.
For that, Latavia. With Bell Let's Talk Day happening this week, it's an important time to shine light on mental health resources for youth. One of those is Kids Help Phone, which is available for youth to access every day of the year around the clock. It's Canada's only national, confidential, multilingual, and free e-mental health service. January 1st of this year saw the launch of the Kids Help Phone Foundation, which aims to inspire generosity and help raise funds for this important resource. So here to tell us more is Aaron Sanderson, President and CEO of the Kids Help Phone Foundation. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Brianne. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you so much for being here. So tell us a little bit about the mission for the Kids Help Phone Foundation.
Kids Help Phone Foundation was really set up to continue the good work that's been done for 36 years to advocate for youth mental health from coast to coast to coast. We're here to make sure that Kids Help Phone has the resources it needs to continue to provide the support for young people 24/7, free, multilingual, from coast to coast.
You all right?
I'm fine.
What is the demand like for Kids Help Phone these days?
Well, we actually continue to see the demand rise. In fact, last year we served youth nearly 4 million times over the course of 2025. And that's been consistent really since 2020. We've served young people now more than 22 million times since the onset of the pandemic, if you can imagine, back in 2020.
Wow, yeah. I mean, it was launched back in 1989, like you said, 36 years ago. How has the service evolved since then?
Well, we've had to keep up with the pace of technology and also the pace of youth. And so Kids Help Phone's constantly trying to evolve to ensure that we're communicating with young people and offering our services in ways that resonate the most with them. So, for example, in 2018, we launched a texting service. Only a few years ago, we launched online moderated peer-to-peer youth forum through our website. We continue to adapt to these technologies to make sure that we are staying relevant, that we're finding new ways for youth to access support, and we can continue to provide them that sort of wraparound 24/7 every single day.
And I feel like with texting and with those online resources, it makes youth feel a little bit more comfortable. Do you have any stats or stories that show how Kids Help Phone is making a difference?
For sure. I mean, one really fascinating thing that happened for us last year, on November 4th, actually, was that we received our highest volume of texting support demand ever in our history, ever since launching that service in 2018. We're seeing young people reach out to us about really isolation, navigating relationships, depression, anxiety, and unfortunately also self-harm and suicide. And so we're really there to have quite critical conversations with youth. We're finding that the conversations we're having are more complex than ever before, as young people are trying to navigate their place in this world, this ever complex world, and those relationships in their life.
Absolutely. Now, tomorrow is Bell Let's Talk Day. How has this initiative helped impact on Kids Help Phone?
This will now be the 16th year for Bell Let's Talk Day, and really we have to credit this incredible platform for raising the conversation around mental health in Canada, destigmatizing, and reminding us all that it's important that we take a moment to really reflect on our own mental health and the mental health of those around us. So I encourage everybody, if they can take a moment tomorrow and on the occasion of Bell Let's Talk, and speak to the young people in your life. Talk about seeing this segment on the news this morning, and just make sure that they know what supports are available to them should they or their friends need it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Aaron, for being here today.
Thanks again.
We've put a link to more info about Kids Help Foundation on our website, but for more on health news, it's time to head over to Amanda.
Thanks, you to health and medical news now. Doctors in Canada's 2 host cities for the FIFA World Cup are concerned an already strained healthcare system could buckle if a sudden surge of patients slams emergency departments during the soccer tournament. It's one of the topics in Your Health. In an editorial in the Canadian Medical Association Journal, Toronto emergency medicine physician Dr. Catherine Varner says vulnerabilities in the system need to be addressed before 300,000 soccer fans set foot in Toronto and Vancouver in June. She points to the deadly New Year's Eve fire at a bar in Switzerland as an unexpected event that overwhelmed the closest hospital. She says she can't think of a hospital right now in downtown Toronto that could take on 80 patients all of a sudden. Pneumonia was one of the leading causes of death in 2024, with the number of fatalities linked to the disease rising a whopping 20% that year. This is according to Statistics Canada. Experts say public health measures like masking and social isolating meant fewer cases of pneumonia during the pandemic.
The overall death rate from pneumonia dropped during COVID because of that. So we're probably seeing the rebound effect following all those public health measures in COVID. And, we're now having COVID, influenza, RSV circulate, and we're probably seeing a rebound effect from that.
The report shows respiratory illness moved to the 6th leading cause of death with more than 7,000 deaths. That's up from being 8th the previous year. Finally, Health Canada has announced a national recall for a baby stroller officials describe as a choking hazard. The recall states the grab bar of the stroller is accessible to a child and contains foam material which may release small parts, posing a choking hazard. The 3-in-1 stroller, manufactured by the brand Infans, does not meet Canadian regulations. 270 of the strollers were sold in this country over the past 2 years. No incidents or injuries have been reported.
We just have one milestone to pass along for you today. It's a 65th anniversary for Morris and Pearl Williams at Mount Uniacke, Nova Scotia.
Oh, what a fantastic photo. 65 years. Congratulations, you two. Of course, to see your milestone again or to find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder, milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance.
All right, now taking a look yet again at our 3-day forecast for New Brunswick, a high of -4 degrees today. We do have a few flurries starting off your day, clearing into the afternoon, leaving sunshine. Wednesday, much of the same, daytime high, even colder though, -7. A mix of sun and cloud with some flurry activity. And then on Thursday, -3 degrees, cloudy skies with flurries into the afternoon. Nova Scotia looking at a high of 0 today with flurries clearing out, leaving a bit of sunshine. On Wednesday, -6 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud, isolated flurries returning. And on Thursday, flurries and or showers across the province, warming up to 3 degrees. Prince Edward Island looking at a high of -2. We do have flurries clearing, leaving sunshine. On Wednesday, sunshine returns with evening flurries, a high of -8, -4 on Thursday.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
It's Tuesday, January 20th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, Black Ice. Halifax police say they're responding to multiple collisions around this city this morning. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And And the cold winter weather is setting in, and it's more than just humans who need protection from the cold. We chat with the SPCA on what our furry friends need to stay safe in this weather.
Hey, good morning, Atlantic, Canada. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're just tuning in, welcome. If you've been with us over the past 2 hours, we're so happy to have you along for the ride, and we cannot wait for you to see the adorable adoptable that the Nova Scotia SPCA has brought in this morning. Of course, we're talking about pets and cold weather safety. Very timely with that really cold front you had mentioned coming later in the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A deep freeze.
Deep freeze. Get the little dog booties, maybe.
Do you both have jackets for your dogs?
No.
No.
Doesn't need it.
I don't even put her boots on, which I should, but my dog's considered a senior now. My golden doodle, she's 7. So we don't even have time to put on boots because she gotta go. Or else she's going in my home.
And when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Exactly, so.
Get him on out.
Poor pup, yeah.
Yeah, Dewey's a black lab golden retriever mix, right? Like, he's so happy in these conditions, right? We're always keeping an eye on it, but I'm still going to be listening to hear what should I keep an eye out for. But yeah, when you see little Zoe, oh my goodness. And she's, as far as I know, she's up for adoption.
So is Zoe coming home with me?
Or,
possibly.
Or me? I mean, I don't know. Or you? Zoe, really?
Donna's looking at me because right now I'm living with her, so I'm actually not allowed to bring a dog home. However,
you just got the look.
I just got the look.
And absolutely not. That's the same look Kyle gives me nowadays. No more animals in this house.
There's enough of us.
Yeah, exactly.
We're the animals.
Yeah. All right, so talking about the weather, as we mentioned, there is a deep freeze heading our way Friday night. Temperatures are cooler today. Early this morning, you see a bit of sunshine over in Burnt Coat Head. We are going to see a bit of sunshine in the forecast, but not really helping to warm things up. As of right now, it is minus 10 degrees in Fredericton and minus 4 starting off the day in both Halifax and Charlottetown. Looking at minus 10 degrees early this morning in Cartwright, minus 3 in Gander. Taking a look at that wind chill early this morning, so it's going to feel a lot colder as you head out, so make sure to layer up before leaving your house. We do have a snow squall watch in effect for parts of Newfoundland for this evening until Wednesday night, as well as a cold warning in effect for parts of Labrador Wednesday morning until the afternoon. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. A few flurries start off the day for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. For Labrador, looking at periods of snow, and then for Newfoundland, flurries and or showers. In terms of the wind, it's going to be a breezy day ahead, especially for the maritime region into the afternoon. As of right now, though, 44 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 35 in Canso, 33 in Halifax, 31 in Yarmouth. Wind gusts of up to 54 kilometers per hour right now in North Cape. 48 into Grand Etang, 46 in Canso. We'll take a look at your long-range forecast just ahead. First, a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. And a new warning from Halifax Police this morning. Road conditions in the HRM are very icy right now. Police say they are responding to a number of collisions around the city due to black ice. No word on any serious injuries. Now, this is causing a number of traffic disruptions as well. In Dartmouth right now, Highway 111 inbound towards the McKay Bridge is closed to all traffic from Portland Street to Main Street. Halifax police say this is so crews can make roads safer and clear previous collisions. Police also asking drivers to keep an eye for pedestrians who may need to walk on roadways to avoid snow-covered or icy sidewalks. And more than 24,000 Nova Scotia Power customers are still without electricity this morning after yesterday's winter storm knocked them off the grid.
We definitely understand that power outages can be frustrating for customers. We know that in this event, the heavy, wet snow has stuck to trees and it's caused them to come into contact with our power lines.
140,000 people, or a quarter of the utilities customers, lost power during the storm's peak. The vast majority saw their electricity return yesterday. Now, for those still waiting this morning, restoration times vary from this afternoon to early Wednesday morning. Road conditions and power outages this morning also impacting some schools on the South Shore, the Annapolis Valley, and Tri-County. And it was scenes like this one that played out again and again all over the region as the power grid struggled and failed under the weight of tree branches just covered with snow. Bible Hill Fire and Emergency were called to reports of trees on fire in Village Court yesterday this morning, and it did prove to be too much for the system. The chief of Nuguk First Nation has ordered the temporary closure of the RCMP detachment there after a band member was killed by officers. The RCMP says it was responding to a domestic disturbance call at a residence. RCMP say a man with an edged weapon advanced towards officers and that an officer used a taser that they say was not effective. The RCMP says an officer then fired their weapon, striking the man who was later pronounced dead in hospital. He's been identified by family and the First Nation as Bronson Paul.
This has to stop. And the RCMPs have to be accountable for what happened here, because this is not right.
Our government has offered Chief Purley and Council our full support, and we will do our part to ensure the investigation proceeds in a transparent, timely, and appropriate manner to provide the answers the family and the community needs.
Chief Ross Purley says there are protocols on Nuguk that local security accompany the RCMP on these types of calls. He says that did not happen Sunday. CERT has taken over the investigation. There's no word on how long it is expected to take. The Jansen Baker double murder trial will resume in Moncton today. Yesterday, the jury heard testimony from 2 forensic experts, including details about videos taken at the crime scene. Baker has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder in the shooting deaths of Bernard and Rosemarie Saunier in their home in September of 2019. As the debate continues in southeastern New Brunswick over a proposed gas power plant, one community has put up its hand and said, we'll take it. The municipality of Tantramar, the chosen site, has opposed the project for environmental concerns. However, officials in Grand Lake say they'd be happy to have the facility.
Our community is open for business. This area has powered the province for many years with coal. I believe that they look at the Moncton area due to the grid. I believe that if you have a community that doesn't want it and one that does want it, then you can work that grid out.
The mayor says the community already has some infrastructure in place, and hosting the plant could help boost the local economy during the building phase. He says council and locals in Grand Lake have also expressed support for the project. Finally, to the West Coast now, and a rare and stunning glimpse into orca hunting behavior was captured off the coast of Victoria. And they added some pretty epic music to go along with the visuals as well. This pod of orcas is known as the T19s. They are transient orcas, or Biggs killer whales, which silently pursue larger prey such as this seal lion hunt, while resident orcas are more vocal and feed on fish. Yeah, the Orca Behavior Institute says this successful hunt took place last week.
Oh dear.
Its nature is beautiful. You have to respect its power.
I thought these videos were so majestic until I saw the seal going
and I
down.
was like, no!
Like, man down, no.
It's like all those videos you see online of like people saving like penguins or, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's the circle of life. Right here.
I mean, it's beautiful.
Right here.
It's stunning and it's beautiful. But
bad day to be a seal.
Bad day to be a seal.
Oh, man.
And I really felt for that guy.
A good day to be an orca.
Yeah,
apparently,
I guess so. So that was captured over in Victoria. We love what you can capture on your cameras as well. So we received some viewer photos from Mike Chambers. So thank you so much for this. No seals getting eaten in this one, so thank you, Mike. But he tells us that he captured these sunset images over the weekend from Point Pleasant Park.
Oh, I love Point Pleasant.
Right? These stunning photos prove the early bird does catch the worm. So thank you so much for sending this to us, Mike. I love a good sunrise, sunset photo.
Me too.
Yeah, and you can text us your photos too. 10400 is the number. Send us a text anytime. We would love to see it. Also too, tell us what new skills you'd like to learn this year, because that is the Move Morning Chat.
Yeah, we've got a few answers already.
Yeah?
Keep them coming.
Keep them coming. We're going to have a roundup at the end of the show.
Gonna have to think about what I want to learn.
I know.
Yeah. for 2026. Okay, so still ahead on the show, we are going to have a look at the Tuesday forecast before we have some deep cold coming in later this week. Plus, also, we have Pet Talk. We're going to be talking about protecting your pets in this cold weather, and I'll have your national and international news headlines. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Beautiful sunshine starting off your day over in Masstown. Welcome back. Time now is 8:13. Minus 4 degrees in your area. We saw flurries early in the morning. Looks like it's already clearing out from your area. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. It is a colder day. As of right now, minus 9 degrees as you head outdoors in Fredericton. Minus 5 starting off your day in both Charlottetown and in Halifax. 1 degree in Sydney. Minus 10 degrees over in Cartwright. Minus 3 in Corner Brook. We do have a snow squall watch in effect for parts of Newfoundland. This is for this evening until Wednesday night. Looking at around 5 to 10 centimeters, potentially getting up to 20 centimeters within those snow squalls. Wind gusts ranging from 70 to 80 kilometers per hour. A cold warning also in effect for parts of Labrador Wednesday morning until the afternoon. Could see the wind chill nearing minus 45. So we do have a deep freeze on its way at the end of this week. But as of right now, it is going to be a regularly cold day ahead. We are going to see sunshine for much of the Maritime region, but still holding on to a few flurries. For Labrador, periods of snow across the province. And then for Newfoundland, looking at flurries and or showers for parts of the province into the afternoon. So into the evening, much of the same expected, just still dealing with a bit of flurry activity for parts of the Maritime region, still seeing snow, flurries and or showers for parts of Newfoundland. Taking us into early Wednesday morning, another cold start to the day, a cold day ahead, sunshine with some flurry activity returning. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, remaining quite light for parts of Cape Breton Island and parts of Newfoundland. For our snowfall outlook, seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation for North Mountain and Yarmouth, and seeing around 1 to 10 for parts of both Newfoundland and Labrador. Into our forecast today for New Brunswick, starting off the day with a few flurries, clearing, leaving mainly sunny skies into the afternoon. Daytime highs will range from minus 10 to minus 4, wind out of the west, 30 gusting to 50. For Prince Edward Island, highs between minus 4 to minus 3 degrees. Flurries also starting off your day, clearing into the afternoon, wind gusts of up to 60 kilometers per hour. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, much of the same, seeing sunshine into the afternoon. Highs between minus 3 to plus 2 degrees. For the rest of Nova Scotia, daytime highs between minus 3 to 0. Flurries expected on and off throughout the day today. Pretty light in its activity, though. And then minus 14 degrees in Labrador City. Looking at periods of snow throughout your day and flurries and or showers for St. John's, Newfoundland with a high of 3. Wednesday's forecast pretty much the same. We're going to see flurries tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada. Temperatures really beginning to cool down. We have another system moving in, bringing flurries and or showers back around, especially starting off into the Maritime region, continuing to move towards Newfoundland and Labrador. Friday's forecast, seeing flurries yet again in the forecast for the Maritime region. Temperatures really cooling down into the overnight hours. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. Donald Trump is linking his stance on Greenland to his failure to win the Nobel Peace Prize, a revelation he made in a text message to Norway's Prime Minister. CTV's Joy Malbin has more on what was said.
It's clear the president is still smarting over not winning a Nobel Peace Prize. In an extraordinary exchange, Donald Trump lashed out at Norway's prime minister, writing, "Dear Jonas, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace." Trump goes on to say Denmark can't protect Greenland from Russia or China, escalating his threat to take the Arctic island. The world is not secure unless we have complete and total control of Greenland. Thousands protested over the weekend wearing their own version of MAGA hats, saying "Make America Go Away." Still, the president refuses to rule out military force to seize the Danish-owned territory.
It is not easy when we wake up every morning to new threats. There are red lines which can't be crossed.
Trump pushing those lines. He wants to own Greenland so badly he's threatened to use his favorite weapon, tariffs, on European nations opposed to his plan to take Greenland.
I think that this can be resolved and should be resolved through calm discussion, making clear that the use of tariffs in this way is completely wrong.
European leaders blasted Trump's actions, from counter tariffs to canceling a planned royal visit to the United States. The U.S. Treasury Secretary warns that retaliation would be unwise.
The president is looking at Greenland as a strategic asset for the United States. We are not going to outsource our hemispheric security to anyone else.
As NATO allies struggle with the president's territorial ambitions, Norway's Prime Minister replied to Trump, explaining an independent committee awards the Nobel Peace Prize, not his government.
CTV's Joy Malbin reporting in Washington. Inflation in Canada increased slightly last month to 2.4% compared to last December. That's when Ottawa implemented a temporary GST break that helped some prices go down. Now they're back up, especially for groceries. CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin spoke to an entrepreneur on the challenges that's creating for her.
In the mix to bake these cookies, there's a secret ingredient.
You have a passion for coffee.
I'm obsessed, a little bit. Stephanie Presta started a home business, Montreal Latte Heart, combining that shot of caffeine with another passion, baking.
So I infuse my cookies with my coffee, and the coffee makes the flavors really come out of the cookies.
But that is now a recipe for higher costs. The latest Statistics Canada inflation numbers show coffee went up 30% annually, and that sweets were also pricier.
Weather variability and lower yields just means that there's less coffee beans being produced and there's more global demand. That's driving the prices up.
A similar story has unfolded for beef prices. They're up 16%. The cattle stock in Canada is low, boosting prices. The price hikes for coffee and beef are a big portion of the 5% overall inflation in grocery items. Still, economists see some positive signs in the report.
If you take out beef and some of the secondary effects on proteins, take out coffee, take out a couple of other things that have had extreme weather issues, the news is relatively optimistic for food prices going forward.
For Presta, relief from rising prices could mean that investing in her passions is worth the hard work.
There were moments this Christmas where I was like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this?
And with the cost of dining out going up too, it's hard to find a treat at a sweet price. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
And legendary Italian fashion designer Valentino has passed away. The designer, whose full name is Valentino Garavani, opened his first studio in 1959 in Rome, growing it into a fashion empire, his designs turning heads on runways and red carpets around the world, credited with actually creating a vibrant shade called Valentino Red. He's being remembered for his unique impact.
Nothing ever felt too fussy or too much. He had a wonderful way of, I guess, restraining himself to some degree, but always injecting a great air of femininity into all the clothing that he gave us.
Valentino passed away peacefully at home, surrounded by family. He was 93 years old. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll talk about cold weather safety when it comes to our pets. The Nova Scotia SPCA will join us. That conversation is coming up next on Your Morning Atlantic.
Welcome back to Your Morning Atlantic. And it's a chilly time of year for us, but for our furry friends, it can also be dangerous. So joining us today for Pet Talk and Safety Winter Edition, we have Kevin Struban of the SPCA. Thank you so much for joining us today.
I appreciate you having me here. It's terrific.
And who do we have with us?
This is Zoe. Zoe's a Chihuahua cross, but a little bigger than you'd expect. And she's just so nice.
She is so sweet. She was having such a good time with us, just so kind, so gentle. How long has she been at the SPCA?
She's been with us a few weeks.
Okay.
And we hope to have her up for adoption very soon at our Dartmouth location.
Okay.
So somebody's going to be able to take her home. And she's about 8 years old.
Okay.
And she'll be spayed and make sure her teeth are in good shape and make sure she's healthy and ready to go. And she'll find that terrific home.
Yes, she definitely will. She's very sweet. So you definitely want to bring Zoe home. If someone was looking to get a dog or has a dog, what can you recommend when it comes to cold winter weather? Because we are starting to have that cool down coming, especially this weekend.
And it's really important to remember those types of things, right? Because it's so cold outside. these dogs are used to being inside, so we think, oh, they have a nice fur coat, they'll be fine. That's not really the case. We have to make sure that they have proper shelter, and proper shelter might be insulated. You need some bedding in there, and it has to be proper, not carpet or blankets or anything like that. And make sure that, you know, your dog's going to be warm enough, like you would be. You know, you dress in layers, you might have to put a cute little coat on your dog, but you want to make sure that they're provided for, and if they don't have a doghouse, just bring them in after 10 minutes. They can do their business, come back inside.
Right. Definitely important for that. What kind of laws does Nova Scotia have around pet safety when it comes to weather?
So there's a provincial statute, the Animal Protection Act, and that protects animals right throughout the province. But then there's also the criminal code, which is across the whole country. And both of those have protections from the elements, provide shelter, food, water, care. All the things that an animal needs are covered under this legislation.
What would you say is one thing that people don't necessarily think of when it comes to pets outside in the winter? Because I mean, coats and booties, that's one thing, those are things that are top of mind. But what's something that people sometimes neglect that they should be paying attention to?
Well, if they have typically it's a dog. If they have the dog outside for a while, they say, well, I've given it water, but in 20 minutes it has a nice layer on it and you can't drink the water anymore. So, you know, a heated water bowl, if you have your dog outside that has a proper dog house. We want to make sure that they're just not going to get too cold, because once they get that cold inside them, it's really hard to get out, and then they're basically suffering.
If someone sees an animal out in the cold, what should they do?
If they feel that the animal's in distress, call the SPCA, and they can call our number, they can visit our website, put a cruelty complaint in there. If the animal's in really bad shape, they can even call 911 and let the police know. Typically, they'll liaise with us to figure out what the best solution is to get somebody there quickly. But we want to make sure that that animal has an answer to that call right away so that we can make sure that the animal's not in distress anymore.
And we have about 30 seconds here, but how can someone tell if an animal has hypothermia or frostbite?
Well, typically there'll be a lot of shivering, really cold. You know, the gums might be pale, things like that. You might see the panting, curled in a ball. They typically do that anyway, but it's those other signs, a low body temperature, of course. And if they have a shorter hair than this, they're more likely to get cold quicker outside too.
Absolutely. Well, we are putting a link to the SPCA on our website and to Zoe here, so that hopefully once she's on the website, she can find herself a forever home. Thank you so much for joining us today, Kevin.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, so throw over to Latavia to learn more about our 3-day forecast coming up.
Thanks, Brianne. Taking a look at New Brunswick first, a high of -4 degrees. We do have a few flurries early in the morning. That will clear, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. On Wednesday, cooling down to -7 for your daytime high. Isolated flurries clearing out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. On Thursday, -3 degrees, cloudy skies with flurries into the afternoon. For Nova Scotia, 0 today with flurries starting off the day, clearing for parts of the province, leaving some sunshine. On Wednesday, -6 degrees. We do have a mix of sun and cloud. Isolated flurries also returning. Then on Thursday, warming up to 3 degrees, flurries and or showers across the province. Prince Edward Island, a high of -2 degrees today. Flurries clearing, leaving sunshine. On Wednesday, a mix of, well, mainly sunny skies actually, a high of -8 with evening flurries, a -4 on Thursday with flurries continuing.
Coming up, added value, how buying what you already need could start earning you points. We'll have those details coming up here in 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:31 on your Tuesday morning. Getting close to the end of the show, but not just yet. Still lots to come.
Still lots to come. How cute was Zoe?
Oh,
like
adorable.
Where's the adoption application? Because I want to take her home. I said, does she do well with other dogs? Because she's pretty darn cute.
I mean, she's 9, so she's a little bit older. You know, she's so sweet. Just her big brown eyes looking up at you.
Oh, wow. She was very well behaved.
So well behaved.
Wonderful. And great advice, too, from the SPCA in terms of cold weather tips.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Especially that thing about water, right? Like that's why I wanted to find out, because we always think about
putting on coats and booties and all of that for our pets. But the water thing, it just makes total sense.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't think about that, you know?
Exactly, and with the temperatures really cooling down by the end of this work week, you're definitely going to want those tips and put them to use if you have pets going outdoors, because a deep freeze is headed our way. Really cold air is moving through our region starting off on Friday night. So today's just a typical cold day. Here's a look at St. John. As of right now, -7 degrees as you head outdoors. We are expecting a few flurries for parts of the region. That will clear, leaving a bit of sunshine into the afternoon. A high of -9 right now in Fredericton, -5 in both Charlottetown and Halifax, 1 degree in Sydney, 0 starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. But the wind chill is still factoring in for many areas across Atlantic Canada, so keep that in mind when you are heading out. We do have a snow squall watch in effect for parts of Newfoundland this evening until Wednesday night, with a cold warning for parts of Labrador. In terms of our satellite and radar, starting off the day with a bit of sunshine for parts of the Maritime region, but also seeing a few flurries starting off the day. For Labrador, looking at periods of snow starting off your day, and then for Newfoundland, looking at some mixed precipitation moving in this afternoon. In terms of the wind, it's going to be a breezy day as well. 50 kilometers per hour right now in North Cape, 35 in Canso and Grand Manan, and we're looking at 22 into Yarmouth. Wind gusts of up to 63 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 50 in Grand Etang and in Canso. We'll take one last look at your long-range forecast, but first, one last look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. And this is weather-related. A new warning from Halifax Police this morning that road conditions in the HRM are very icy right now. Police say they're responding to a number of collisions around the city due to black ice. No word on any injuries. It is causing a number of traffic disruptions, too. In Dartmouth, Highway 111 inbound towards the McKay Bridge, it has just reopened after being closed for several hours to all traffic from Portland Street to Main Street. Halifax Police said that was necessary so crews can make sure roads were safe and also clear previous collisions. Police are also asking drivers to keep an eye for pedestrians who may need to walk on roadways to avoid snow-covered or icy sidewalks. And at this hour, more than 24,000 Nova Scotia Power customers are still without electricity this morning after yesterday's winter storm.
We definitely understand that power outages can be frustrating for customers. We know that in this event, the heavy, wet snow has stuck to trees and it's caused them to come into contact with our power lines.
140,000 people, or 25% of the utilities customers, lost power during the storm's peak. The vast majority saw their electricity return yesterday, but for those still waiting, restoration times vary from this afternoon to early tomorrow morning. Road conditions and power outages also impacting some schools on the South Shore, Annapolis Valley, and Tri-County today. In New Brunswick, the chief of Nuguk First Nation has ordered the temporary closure of the RCMP detachment there after a band member was killed by officers. The RCMP says it was responding to a domestic disturbance call at a residence. RCMP say a man with an edged weapon advanced toward officers and that an officer used a taser that was not effective. The RCMP say an officer then fired their service weapon, striking the man, who was later pronounced dead in hospital. He's been identified as Bronson Paul.
This has to stop. And the RCMPs have to be accountable for what happened here, because this is not right.
Our government has offered Chief Purley and Council our full support, and we will do our part to ensure the investigation proceeds in a transparent, timely, and appropriate manner to provide the answers the family and the community needs.
Chief Ross Purley says there are protocols on Nuguk that local security company, the RCMP, on these types of calls. He says that did not happen Sunday. CERT has taken over the investigation. The Jansen Baker double murder trial will resume in Moncton today. Yesterday, the jury heard testimony from 2 forensic experts, including details about videos taken at the crime scene. Baker has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder in the shooting deaths of Bernard and Rosemarie Saunier in their home in September of 2019. There is some good news and bad news about that makeshift medical unit inside an ambulance bay at the Chalmers Hospital in Fredericton. The good news is patients will be moved to a different wing of the hospital. The bad news is it could take months. The 13-bed unit was created as an urgent solution to overcrowding in the hospital. It's been condemned for its lack of running water, bathrooms, and privacy. Horizon Health is promising those 13 beds will be moved inside the hospital, but other services have to move first. Then the ambulance bay will be officially renovated.
This will be an extension of the emergency department. It will provide some type of clinical care for emergency department patients as the renovations are undertaken.
Margaret Melanson notes 142 patients at the Chalmers should be in long-term care, not a hospital, which is why they are trying to find beds elsewhere. Finally, we know it's going to be cold later on this week, but one of the world's most extreme long-distance races, the Pole of Cold, that's what it's called, Winter Marathon, has wrapped up in Russia with runners battling temperatures of minus 41 degrees Celsius. So 50 competitors set off early in the morning, braving the deep freeze of the, stay with me here, Oymyakon area. Oymyakon. Oof. That's a hard one.
You got there.
Got there, kind of. Apparently
Just
it
like
is
them.
just like there. It's known as one of the coldest inhabited places on Earth.
That's why you can't say it, because your mouth is frozen.
Your mouth is frozen, right?
Yeah.
You know what would be tricky for these runners too? Like, not just the cold conditions, but like hydrating yourself along the way and making sure whatever hydration pack you have with you doesn't freeze, which must be why they must have supports along their route like that with their vehicles, like support vehicles.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, I'm not running outside in forests at night. An animal would attack me.
Oh, that's creepy. Scary.
I just feel like I would have, you know, that luck.
Oh,
yeah, same.
Gosh. Well, you know what?
It'd be a bird.
It won't be later this. It'll be later this month in February. The Running Room puts on this hypothermic half marathon, and they take place around Canada and around this region as well. The date's always different though, depending on what city you're in. That's always a cold and icy one.
Yeah. I'll be running indoors.
Running indoors.
Yeah. So one of the most famous jets in aviation history is being commemorated with a coin. Yes, the UK's Royal Mint has released a 50-pence coin featuring the Concorde. The supersonic jet had its first commercial flight 50 years ago. There is a shared history between the Concorde and the 50-pence coin. When introduced in the UK in 1969, Concorde engineers pitched in with the design.
Cool.
That's cool.
See,
50
when you
years ago.
Yeah. When Brianne started talking about the jets, I was thinking, oh, what's she going to talk about with the Winnipeg?
Jets.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite Jets?
Yeah, I don't like any of the Jets. I do not like the New York Jets. I do not like the Winnipeg Jets. I do like the Chicago Blackhawks, who the Winnipeg Jets played yesterday. And actually, Jonathan Toews went back to Winnipeg for his first time since leaving that franchise.
Wow.
Or back to Chicago for the first time since leaving that franchise to Winnipeg.
There you go. We got our sports reporter back.
Exactly. All right, now we're going to take a look at some events taking place across our region in the community calendar. So Tracadie Winter Festival offers a variety of outdoor winter activities such as skiing, snowshoe outings, outdoor family rally, illuminated walking trail, sleigh rides, snow taffy, and pond hockey tournaments, and so much more. So you can head over to the website to learn more. And then we have an event. Oh, it's not there, but we do have another event taking place.
This is our template.
Yeah. Insert here. So we do have a musical performance taking place. We'll put up the details on our website so you can check it out. And okay, we don't have another one right now, but send us your event if you have one.
That was my fail.
That's all good.
First day back, I'm going to just take that L. I'm just going to take that L.
Take the L.
It's all good.
Listen, we're so glad you love the community calendar. We're going to have more of it tomorrow.
Yes, actual events for you.
All right, coming up next, a points partnership. Taylor Kay has more on how we can turn errands into earnings. Stay with us. Those details, we'll be right back.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:44. We're taking a live look at Digby. -1 starting off your day. A bit of sunshine in behind those clouds. We do expect a few flurries, though, throughout the day today. So we are going to see a cold start to the day for much of Atlantic Canada. Temperatures continue to cool down a little bit later on. -9 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, -5 in both Halifax and Charlottetown, 1 degree in Sydney, and -3 into Labrador City. We do have a snow squall watch in effect for parts of Newfoundland. This is for this evening until Wednesday night. Looking at around 5 to 10 centimeters within those snow squalls, could get up to 20. And wind gusts between 70 to 80 kilometers per hour. A cold warning also in effect for parts of Labrador. This is for Wednesday morning until the afternoon. Wind chill nearing -45. So we are going to have a deep freeze at the end of this work week. But as of right now, dealing with cold seasonal temperatures for the most part. We do have sunshine early this morning for parts of the Maritime region. Also seeing a few flurries starting off your day. And then into Labrador, looking at periods of snow. For Newfoundland, looking at some mixed precipitation into the afternoon. Much of the same expected into our overnight hours. A few flurries remaining for parts of the Maritimes. And seeing snow remain in Labrador. And bit of mixed precipitation holding on until early Wednesday morning. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, it's going to be quite light. Only seeing light amounts for Sydney as well as into parts of Newfoundland for our snowfall outlook. Looking at around 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation for North Mountain and Yarmouth, and seeing 1 to 10 across parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, flurries start off the day clearing for the most part, leaving mainly sunny skies. Daytime highs between -10 to -4, wind gusts of 50 expected. For Prince Edward Island, highs between -4 to -3. Also seeing a few flurries clearing into the afternoon. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, looking at flurries starting off your day into the afternoon, seeing sunshine. Daytime highs between -3 to 2 degrees, wind gusts of 50. For the rest of Nova Scotia, pretty much the same, seeing sunshine for parts of this province, but also going to see flurries on and off throughout your day. Wind gusts of 60 expected. -14 degrees for Labrador City, looking at periods of snow throughout your day and looking at some mixed precipitation for St. John's, Newfoundland with a high of 3. Wednesday's forecast, we're going to see a bit of sunshine for parts of Atlantic Canada, also holding on to a flurry activity. And then into Thursday morning, we have another system making its way over, bringing flurries under showers back around, starting off into the Maritime region, extending into parts of Newfoundland. Friday afternoon, looking at flurry activity returning as well. Temperatures really beginning to cool down, Brianne.
All right, so a good day to go shopping. Thanks, Latavia. So many of us are looking for simple ways to make our spending go further. Here to share a new partnership that's helping people earn more on purchases they're already making is our partner and lifestyle contributor, Taylor Kay.
Hey, well, you know I like to shop, Brianne. You know, so this is like a perfect partnership even for me.
I mean, yeah, obviously you like to shop. You have a sled as well as a shovel in your kitchen.
And then I also have snowshoes as well. I'm ready. Let's go.
Because why not, right? You're ready for all this snow that's coming our way. So we love that for you. But Taylor, tell us about this new partnership.
Well, yeah, of course. Well, this partnership brings together two of Canada's most trusted loyalty programs. Avion Rewards is RBC's loyalty program that helps Canadians earn value on everyday spending, on, you know, just all your favorite stuff. And Triangle Rewards is Canadian Tire Corporation's loyalty program that's used across a wide range of retailers. You know, think about Canadian Tire, Sport Chek, Marks. Now, when you head to avionrewards.com/triangle, you just link your RBC card to your Triangle Rewards account so you can earn 3 times the Canadian Tire money.
3 times Canadian Tire money.
Amazing. I mean, that's you're earning points for flights, you're earning points for shopping. Why is this such a big win for Canadians right now?
Well, it's simple and just really practical. Many Canadians already use their RBC card and they shop at these stores for everyday needs. Like you said, maybe it's a sled, maybe it's a shovel, maybe it's a HEPA filter, the snowshoes. My kids, they're getting ready, you know, for school. We've got cleaning products as well. So I'm going to get them to clean when they got to do their chores. So you're already doing these purchases, and they can go further by earning 3 times the Canadian Tire money without really changing the way you shop or pay. And that's why it's an easy way for families to turn everyday purchases into greater rewards.
No, absolutely. And rewards cards are so fantastic, right? And rewards programs, like I'm always using points programs to be able to purchase, like you said, like groceries or what have you, right?
Well, and then getting those rewards for other things, right? Like you said, like flights and all kind of fun things. And the way people can get started, again, just to link your cards up, it's a quick one-step process. You just link your RBC card to your Triangle Rewards account. Then when you shop, you scan your Triangle Rewards card and pay with your linked RBC card. To learn more, it's really simple. Just go to avionrewards.com/triangle or triangle.com/RBC. It's on both their websites, so they take care of you.
Amazing. And we'll link it to ours as well, Taylor. Thank you so much. And we'll you obviously have some cleaning to do.
Yeah, and I'm going to do some snowshoeing later, and then do some cleaning, and then sledding. I'm doing all the things.
All the things, making all the purchases work for you.
Yes.
Thanks so much, Taylor.
Thank you.
We'll be right back to wrap up the show.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
All right, now we're going to take a look at our 3-day forecast. For New Brunswick today, a high of -4 degrees. We do have sunshine, but also seeing a few flurries starting off the day. On Wednesday, -7 degrees, much of the same. Starting off the day with sunshine, isolated flurries into the afternoon. Then on Thursday, -3 degrees, cloudy skies with flurries returning yet again into the afternoon. For Nova Scotia, a high of 0 today. We are going to see flurries starting off the day, clearing for parts of the province, leaving a bit of sunshine. On Wednesday, -6 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud, isolated flurries returning. Then on Thursday, looking at temperatures warming up 3 degrees as your daytime high with flurries and or showers. For Prince Edward Island, a high of -2. We do have flurries clearing into the afternoon. Sunshine on Wednesday with a high of -8. Flurries return into the evening. Then on Thursday, -4 degrees with flurries across the island. So we are going to see these temperatures really begin to cool down Friday night. That's when that deep freeze is making its way over.
We have been
thinking about
warned.
Yes.
Yep.
Stay cozy while you can. Okay, we want to bring you back to the Move Morning Chat. So if you missed it, we were talking about some new skills that we want to learn, whether it's for this year or at some point this year. I was saying that I would like to learn how to sew, finally, especially sew a button. I know I keep getting told it's simple. I got to learn how to do it.
It's simple, but like if you've never been taught it or you've been taught it once, right? It's one of those things. My father actually used to sew on my buttons.
Amazing.
Shout out to Brian Foley.
Shout out to Brian. So we put it to you guys at home. We were saying, what's something that you would like to learn? And we began with Gail from Miramichi. I would like to learn realistic portrait painting.
Ooh, that's a cool one, Gail.
Not just like regular painting, realistic portrait painting.
Amazing.
Good on you, Gail. I
Absolutely.
hope you get to try that this year.
Yeah.
Get going on it. Good for you. Also, too, my goal is to learn Spanish this year. This is Karen from Wolfville. It's a beautiful language that I have wanted to learn for years.
Very cool.
Karen, I am with you, too. One of my neighborhood friends, that's her language that she speaks, Spanish, and she speaks English as well. I'd love to learn Spanish. I'm picking up little things from her.
Oh, yeah.
Even like going on something as simple as Duolingo and just, doing those practices every single day.
Yes.
Like,
keep that streak.
Exactly. Well, because it gets easier the more you're immersed in it, right?
Exactly.
So good luck to you, Karen.
Exactly. Mo from Bathurst says, I would like to play the harmonica. Been saying it for a long time. Bought a harmonica and the book, just haven't gotten around to it.
Well, pick it up, Mo.
Yeah.
Now's the time to do it. So we haven't asked you two. What's a skill you'd like to learn this year?
Probably a language as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to learn French. Like, I can't believe I didn't really pick that up. Didn't really care as a young me. But now I'm like, man, I should have paid attention. I should have kept taking it.
As a young me, she said.
It's so true. And you know what? And like you mentioned practicing, like I grew up speaking French and I still can, but I have lost quite a bit of it just because I haven't practiced it.
Yeah, perfect practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect.
No, practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect.
Perfect practice makes perfect.
I'm like, I'm so lost.
Yeah, no, I feel like I want to touch up on my French as well. I grew up in Ottawa. Like, I should be able to speak French, right? Like, at the end of the day. I took I took extended, so did history and everything in French, and I have a good ear for it. I can't conjugate everything. Like passé composé gets me every single time.
Passé composé, féminin, masculin.
Yeah.
Trying to remember all that. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So I don't know what skill I want to learn. I have to think on this one.
Okay, we'll let you think about it. And while you do that, we're going to tell our viewers what we got going on tomorrow. So we do hope you'll join us. Tomorrow is Bell Let's Talk Day. We'll be talking about the importance of mental health, breaking down stigmas. Dr. Alexa Bagnell from the IWK will join us to talk about the importance of children's mental health.
So lots to do there.
Oh yeah, we also have handbags in hospice. So this is an auction that's being taken place for a gala that's coming up. I think it's like feeling like love.
Feeling the love.
Feeling the love. There you go.
It's a good one. So if you've got any nice used handbags, keep them handy. We'll have details on the show tomorrow.
You sure will. So we hope you tune in tomorrow and have a wonderful Tuesday.